Howdy, CWEA friends. I'm here to sniffle and snuffle my way through your registration help for the 2019-2020 season. Some of you have expressed a little uncertainty with Competition Suite, a little unfamiliarity. So if you've done this before and you're confident, really no need to watch through. But if you're new to Competition Suite, or if you've been out of the circuit for a few years and you're not quite sure what to do, this should help you out. So the first place to start is our website, cweindoor.org. And if you go up to the Resources tab, you can find our registration guide. You see there are two tabs, one for members and non-members. The vast majority of you will be member groups. So you can read through the guide if you prefer, but start by clicking that button. That'll take you to Competition Suite. Now you'll notice that I have already logged in. You may have to log in, or if you've never used Competition Suite, you'll have to register a new account. It's a very straightforward process, and no need for me to take you through that. What's important is that if the group you represent has ever competed in CWEA, go ahead and click in that Find Existing Group and make sure that they don't already have a profile before you go to create something new. So whether you've ever been involved with it doesn't matter. Go ahead and click in there and search. So you choose the one you're looking for and you click, and some is pre-filled for you. Now it says administrator. We're not looking for your school principal. We're looking for the person who is going to manage this group within Competition Suite. I want to strongly recommend that you put your information there. Now I start to use my school district email because that's reflex at this point. However, that's not the email address I use for Competition Suite. So I'm going to use the email address that I already have with my Competition Suite account. This is very important. The most common problem we have with registrations is that our person doing the registration puts in an email address that is not their own or that does not correspond to their normal Competition Suite account, and then suddenly they can't find that group that they've just registered. So if you want to have someone else manage the group, if you're the band director and there's a separate unit director, or you have multiple people on staff who need Competition Suite access, that's fine. I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. But I would strongly recommend that you put your information in here. From here, you can also add additional groups, including new groups. So whether you are searching for another existing group or registering a group for the first time ever, you don't have to leave this screen. What's important is that you only register groups from the same school. So if you have a scholastic group and an independent group, you should not register both at once. The reason for that is in the left column there, the pricing discount. So with multiple groups from the same school, for example, a couple of color guards, a percussion group, a wind ensemble, in the same school, we offer a discount for multiple groups. However, that cannot extend to an independent group from a different organization and a scholastic-based group. So once you've had an opportunity to fill in all your details, you notice the big orange button that says Complete Membership. Here's where you put in the billing information. This could be a booster club treasurer, a school bookkeeper, whoever needs to receive this information. So you see I've filed in my school information. I'll use the quote option if I intend to use a purchase order. That way you can supply your school district financial office the quote, they can generate a PO number, and then Competition Suite can follow up with an invoice to process that PO. If you want to pay right now with a credit card, you can do that. And then many of our groups choose to get an automated invoice from Competition Suite. That's so you can pay by check. If you know that you are going to pay by credit card, please hold off on your registration until you have that credit card in hand. It's possible to pay with a credit card after you've registered and received your automated invoice, but it is significantly more complicated. So there's not a big timing incentive right now while event registration is not open yet. So it's pretty much we're in the month of September. You're knocking this out ahead of time. Go ahead and wait until you have that credit card in hand. So once you complete, you'll get this green message that says, hey, thumbs up, you're good to go. You should receive an invoice in your email or a receipt, as the case may be. If for whatever reason you forget to register one of the groups from your school, for example, you're the percussion director and you're not sure if there's going to be a color guard, rather than registering through here, go ahead and get in touch with me first, treasurer@cweindoor.org, and that way we can make sure you get your group pricing discount and you're not paying full price when you should be entitled to a discount in that situation. Last thing to think about, if you want to add additional staff members to your competition suite group. You can come right up here from this screen, select that group, click Staff Management, and you see I've blanked out my super secret details here. You can list people as administrators who have control over the details of the group, or just staff members who receive access to scores and commentary but can't actually control the group. It's very important that when it comes time to register for events in October, that you have at least one person, including yourself, listed as an administrator. Those will be the people who can actually register for events when the event calendar is published and registration opens. All you have to do is enter your email address below and click Add Staff Member. Again, if somebody uses multiple email addresses, figure out which one they have associated with Competition Suite. So a couple reminders for you, whether you've done this before or this is your first time ever. You want to make sure that you are the person you list as the group director when you register on Competition Suite. You can always add people later. Number 2, if you're paying by credit card, have the credit card in hand when it's time to register rather than trying to do it later. That will save lots of time and trouble. Third reminder, event registration will open in October. Right now you are just having some extra time to get your checks in or your credit cards processed. Be aware of any credit card transaction or daily limits if you're going to pay by card, especially if you have multiple groups. Many booster clubs don't realize that they are capped at $1,000 or $1,500 per day or per transaction, and it's pretty easy to go over that limit with multiple groups. So have that in mind, work with your bank. If we need to split it into multiple transactions, we absolutely can do that, but you need to get in touch with me directly because it won't work directly through Competition Suite. If you goof some numbers, if your payment fails, Competition Suite will attempt to charge you 5 days in a row. So if you have any troubles, let me know so that we can avoid any possibility of multiple charges or accidental charges. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email, treasurer@cweindoor.org. Thanks, and best of luck in the 2020 season.